Well, folks, it's time for more refights. You guys, want to learn about books and shit?
Oh my god.
I legit did not remember who Zexion is. I had no idea.
He's the famous character, Zexion. He cares about the books, he puts you in the books.
He's the famous librarian of Organization 13.
Yeah.
Making him the most unhinged.
When did we fight him?
Okay, so originally, Chain of Memories, and then he's like a little bonus boss fight, near the beginning of the game.
Oh.
He traps you in the books.
So, you guys been reading any books lately?
I don't know how to read.
That's why I don't turn on subtitles in video games. I wouldn't understand them anyways.
Oh, well, don't worry, guys. I would call myself a reader, so, I could read it out for you.
Oh, okay.
Any books you're interested in?
Yeah. Have you been reading any that you could read out to us now?
I've got Frankenstein somewhere around here.
Yeah? That's a pretty good one.
It's very cool. I've read 40 pages of it. That bitch got so mad when someone told him 2,000-year-old science is wrong that he created another human being. That's cool.
It's look, he's ready to prove that phrenology is real.
Hey. Phrenology was good science at the time, and, you shouldn't disrespect it.
That's right. If we didn't have phrenology, we wouldn't have real science.
Yeah. Like what? What's real science?
Biology.
Oh, huh.
I guess.
Okay, writing this down. Biology is racist science?
Yes. Don't say real when you mean racist. That's the motto I live by.
Oh, yeah?
Anyways, that's a big thing about Zexion, is he's racist.
I don't know whether someone who reads books can be racist. I mean,
There's never been an educated racist. That's what I'm hearing here.
Yeah, a lot of books, very anti-racist. You ever check out their titles?
Well, I mean, the Nazis used to burn books, so clearly they were anti-book. So if you do read, there's no way you can be racist. That makes sense.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
I didn't see it before. I get it now.
Man, what the fuck is wrong with us?
Too many books is the problem.
Yeah?
Look, the most important thing in any academic pursuit is to only rely on primary sources. You need to go out and dig up the original ancient scrolls, breathe in the mold spores. That's how you get the wisdom into your blood.
Right, that's why I don't believe in Apocrypha. I think that if anything's been written down, it's true. Like we said before, Frankenstein is a documentary, or a biography, I guess.
You need to find the physical remains of the original scholars and grind them up, shove them in your mouth. That's how you steal their essence.
That's how knowledge is passed on between generations.
Is that how so many people know about Plato?
Yeah.
Man, those ancient Greeks must have been big then. A lot of spores.
Yeah. Who's the philosopher of the time that was just like an asshole? What was his name again? I can't think of it.
That was all of them, my friends.
Right, no,
Be more specific.
Sorry, the one that was more actively and intentionally an asshole.
Diogenes, the most punk of all 50-year-old Greek philosophers.
Yeah, the punk rock Greek philosopher. I was thinking that the idea of feeding the essence of philosophers, that seems like a real long bit that Diogenes would have done.
Well,
he's just slowly placing his ashes somehow, post life, he's passing around his ashes and putting them in people's food to pass along his punk rock attitude.
Well, I think that places a little bit too much importance on a man who wanted to be eaten by stray dogs.
And those dogs are now the smartest animals on Earth.
Yeah, look, he passed it on in his own way, continuing the punk rock, don't give a fuck attitude.
That story, Boy and His Dog? Guess whose corpse that dog ate?
Oh my god.
Gotta tell ya, that dog.
Yeah, eventually turned into a blob for the sequel to that story, A Boy and His Blob. He only ate jelly beans after that, which was Diogenes' favorite food.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. He couldn't get enough of those guys.
Was he a bit of a sweet tooth?
Yeah, he's a bit of a sweet tooth, and because, like, it was kind of anachronistic, everyone thought he was just, like, you know, he was, like, eating, like, poison. So he'd just, like, do it, and people would be like, oh my god. It's kind of like Rasputin, right? Where, like, he survives all the poisonings. Except with Diogenes, it's fake, and with Rasputin, it's real.
I thought it was more like, you know, the first European who ate, like, a tomato in the 18th century.
Oh, and didn't die of it? Yeah, that could be.
Yeah.
First guy to eat a jelly bean.
Man, remember when they thought, like, tomatoes were just, like, poisonous for you, and they just kept them around as flowers, basically?
It's crazy to think. It's kind of like potatoes. A similar history. Except no one thought that they were, like, cool, so they didn't keep them around as flowers. They just thought of them as poison.
Okay, you know what, Chirps? I'm European. I don't joke about potatoes, okay?
That's right. It's still stew fresh in your mind. Also, watching this again, I just think it's very funny that you're the only one who ever makes it into the safe zone with the book. And so you just have to watch your friends die from a meteor burst.
I'll be fine.
You know, although not always, like, this refight, like, the timing is so fucking tight on it.
Yeah, it seems like you're barely making it in all those times.
But you know what, Donald and Goofy, you know, they're used to these meteors. They were probably around in the age of the dinosaurs.
Well, probably. They just have evolved since then to, you know, for human speech.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, because they read books.
That's right. Yeah,
Maybe something you should get into, Chorps.
maybe.
As long as you can survive getting struck by one meteor, you will build up an immunity.
I gotta practice that too, then.
You ever hear that tragic story of that one medieval king that was so scared of meteors he kept getting hit by meteors? You know, and then when like another country invaded, he was like, oh no, they're coming after me, I have to kill myself, and there was a meteor there, and he hit himself with the meteor and it didn't do anything.
Wow.
Life's crazy, you know?
Yeah.
It's
I
crazy.
feel like that really says something.
Yeah. And you know what? Can't read this kind of stuff in a book.
It's true.
Who's Vexen? I don't remember Vexen.
Oh my god. Do I have to link you a wiki page every time now?
I think you do remember Vexen, because he's the Redditor of the group.
Ah. It hasn't been in bed.
Has been a little bit. He's got ice powers, he's you know, he's kind of like contradictory.
He's got a shield, but doesn't seem to be doing much.
Well, I wouldn't know, like, if he was a Redditor, unless he killed me and then said /s.
Well, I mean, you've never gotten a game over before in this game, so we don't know if he says /s after he kills you.
That's why this LP has been taking 3 years, because every time I die, I restart the game.
Yeah. Though, when he does kill you, he does say, here's some Reddit gold for you, good sir. You've won the internet.
Wow. I guess that's one thing. As a lot more something awful affiliated person have. I've never won the internet, and I think it's brought me a lot of emotional distress in life.
I mean, at this point, it feels like you deserve at least one internet, you know?
Yeah. Like, I've been doing LPs for what now? 7 years? Like, when's somebody just gonna tell me that I won the internet?
Yeah, when are you getting a trophy for your service? Like a Purple Heart.
Man, they should have Purple Heart for Let's Players.
For all the capture cards that have died in the line of duty.
Yeah? I mean, think about it. We provide a valuable service. We make like 40 people in the whole world laugh because everyone else just watches Twitch streams.
Yeah.
But you know, those 40 people, they're very amused. They're giggling their way through life because of our videos.
That's right.
I wouldn't say very. Maybe just amused.
Well, that's the hierarchy, right? It's kind of like the hierarchy of needs, or like the food pyramid, right? At the top, it's the people that we make laugh. That's 40 of them. Lower, it's like 60 or 80 of them, and we make them like chortle. And then like, I don't know, maybe 100 of them are like bemused. You know, they don't hate it, but they have no reaction.
I don't know. I've seen my comments. They're all trolls. My audience is half trolls.
Well, that's the bottom of the food chain, like where all the sweets are. We don't talk about those because they're bad for you, just like the trolls.
Agreed. The sweets, they are bad for you.
Yeah. Anyways, now, we really know that he's a Redditor because he just pirated your data and is making you fight you, but evil. Think about it.
I don't know. Like, you know, a lot of people pirate. Maybe we should introduce, like, some Chinese data and see if they, like, barf for whatever fucking reason.
Oh yeah, what we do is we're gonna, like, break his system because it's gonna give that, like, little report that says, like, oh, the Chinese affiliated media posted this copy of Sora. And it's just like, it's not gonna work. You're gonna hit him every time he tries to hit the button to show anyway.
Big fan of how these attacks give off no sound. It's just spinning silently. These huge chunks of ice.
Yeah, I don't know why this one has that problem in particular, because, like, the sound design for the other bosses is normally there, but I guess, like, him just having his stupid PS1-looking ice cubes, like, doesn't...
Yeah, he hacked it.
Oh, I made a huge mistake.
Oh my
there.
god, yeah, you just got super comboed by you.
But you know what? Donald wasn't around to save me. Thank you, Donald.
The first time Donald has helped out, because he immediately died afterwards. His sacrifice will not be forgotten, much like Goofy's.
Taking combos like that is why you haven't won the internet yet. Maybe one day.
Yeah, unfortunately that was a for the lose moment.
You know, I guess that's why we have to re-LP all of this then.
Right, once we're done, we'll redo it. We'll make sure that it's an internet win moment. We're gonna make sure it's for the win.
Yeah.
I'm leaving.
Oh, you're going out for cigarettes, Maddie?
Yeah, I'll definitely be back.
Alright, thank you. I'll wait right here.
We'll just be recording. Once you get back, we'll do the sync and everything, and we'll get started.
Man, what a cool guy, and so trustworthy too.
That's right. Now that's a guy who could win an internet.
Oh yeah, for sure. I bet if this Shadow Sora beat him up, he wouldn't even die.
Yeah? He'd just be like, no, and then Shadow Sora would just fall apart.
I don't want the internet.
Oh no. Well, I mean, you can always trade it in for a prize of equal value.
Yeah.
We haven't decided on those yet, but we'll figure it out.
So, gotta say, enjoying these last two boss battles. Too many nerds, I think.
Yeah, we need a real jock in the organization. We had that one before with the big sword, but too many nerds.
I feel like we're focusing a little bit too much on the big two, like the Sony and Microsoft of subcultures.
Right.
I feel like we really gotta find someone countercultural, like a slacker.
I mean, here he is.
Oh yeah?
Demyx is
This guy's a slacker for sure. He uses water. What's that for?
that, and he just he very clearly is one of those guys who just goes out in public and is, like, wants to show off how good he can play the guitar. He's not that good.
Yeah, he's just kind of strumming it like I was in high school when I wanted to learn the guitar, but didn't actually want to learn the guitar.
Right. You, like, figure out, like, 3 or 4 things that make a good enough noise, and you just play them back and back.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even do that. I just kind of improved my way through everything. It was very embarrassing.
Oh, so you're a jazz musician. I see.
You know, jazz musicians, they have a little thing called, talent.
Oh, sure.
I would say that this guy, in his dating profile, would have a picture of him posing with the guitar, and then when somebody asks, "Oh, do you know how to play the guitar?" No. No, I don't. I just have it.
Yeah. But, yeah, he's playing it like a keyboard. He clearly doesn't know what he's doing. He's classically trained. So is this entire boss fight just time trials where you have to kill other guys?
No, but like a lot of it is.
Alright, I just noticed that there was a lot of it. I was wondering if it was just like a gimmick fight, but he's finally fighting you for real now.
Yeah. I mean, the time trials are definitely like the toughest part about it because it's way harder to do without wisdom form in general.
Something where you can spam a lot more.
Yeah, which kind of sucks at times because the Organization 13 refights have a weird little thing to them where there's a higher chance of anti-form happening.
Oh.
So I just had like 2 nights where I fought against this guy, and whenever he did the time trial thing and I tried to pull out wisdom form, nah, just anti-form, lost me the fight.
Cool.
But you know, that happens. You can't always get what you want in a video game. It's much like life.
It's true.
You know, it's not like Demyx's famous catchphrase, "It's better downwards weather."
Right. He's always saying that. He's always saying things like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
This is why he's the outcast of the Organization 13, is because he just has nothing but shitty puns to say.
Yeah, this isn't so much like a countercultural guy, I guess, as just a very annoying guy.
Yeah.
I don't know why we're even, like, fighting him.
I mean, given what I know about guitar dudes who go, like, I don't know, he's probably around, like, college age. I don't know, he seems kind of that age. They're all just kind of annoying. That's, like, their main, like, personality. That and, like, wearing, like, a stupid hat.
Ooh. I mean, like, I don't know, what kind of hat are we talking about?
I don't know, maybe a trilby.
That's a cool hat. Fuck you, Chirps, you're out of the group.
Oh, sorry, I meant a fedora. I keep forgetting which of those two is the one that's good and bad.
Indiana Jones wears that, and he's named after a state. Are you that cool?
I guess you're right. I guess maybe it's just, is an unfortunate sort of prejudice I had.
He's named after a dog who's named after a state.
Well, that dog is the coolest dog you've ever met.
That's probably true.
Yeah, he smokes cigarettes, the dog has a gun,
And he knows how to use it.
because he was around before Indiana, he killed, I don't know, like the proto-Nazis?
Yeah. He was there in World War I. He's down in the trenches.
Oh, yeah? A famously, morally uncomplicated war?
Yeah. Look, I'm not saying what side he fought for. I'm not willing to make a statement on that. I'm just saying that he was there in the trenches with his fellow countrymen.
I'm just saying, I'm like real smug about it because we didn't do anything there. We got out of that mess.
Yeah, so much for a world war. The Netherlands weren't even part of it.
Yeah. Yeah, they should call it World War I minus Netherlands.
Yeah. That's why looking back on it, they continue to refer to it as Holland in disrespect.
Oh yeah, yeah. And it pisses me off every time. But then, I realize, would Indiana the dog from the famous movie series Indiana Jones, the human, do that? No, he wouldn't. He would keep us cool, because he's a cool customer.
That's right. He's got a cool hat on. He's got one of those hats where you put the beer cans in and you can take a drink.
Oh yeah.
And he can drink
yeah.
while smoking a cigarette. That's like his big trick. Also the gun thing. Whoa, wait. Oh my god.
What?
Yeah.
Well, you were doing like a riff off. You were showing off which one of you is better at the guitar, and you played on the keyblade, which is infinitely cooler. It's kind of like a guitar.
Yeah. Well, okay. So here's my thing, tropes. I know how to read. I don't know what musical instruments are. That's not my forte. What's a guitar?
So it's kind of like a keyboard, but you hold it like a guitar.
Okay. So how do you hold something?
With your hands.
Okay. Like book?
Yeah.
Like book?
You do hold book,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, just like you hold book.
Okay. So I look at the guitar. I like have it hold in front of me. Like, what do I get out of it?
Noise. It makes noise.
What?
Yeah, like an instrument.
What? Why?
People like making noise. If you've ever been to a sporting event, when you hear those loud noises, usually it's like a vuvuzela or a horn, which is another instrument. I should preface. It's another instrument that makes noise.
Yeah, I don't pay attention to that. I go to sports games to read the score.
Okay. I mean, it doesn't change much. It gives you a lot of time to make sure you understand all the intricacies.
Man, what a downer ending.
Yeah. Well, at least he joined the 27 club.
That's right. That was his big goal in life.
Yeah. That's a phenomenon I only know because of video games.
Wait, do video games have a 27 club, or do they just talk about it all the time?
They talked about it in one.
Okay.
Which one?
Like the first of those new Hitman games.
Oh.
Oh, right, because you do have to assassinate a band man, a guy in a band.
Actually, all your targets in that game are 27.
Oh, okay. Whoa. Is that like thematic because it's like Agent 47? Like he's just looking for people of the next generation to kill?
Yeah.
It's like, this is why I hate millennials. They're in bands.
Back off!
Yeah, that's why that trilogy is dubbed Hitman, Agent 47, Zoomer, Destroyer.
I think that's beautiful.
Anyway, Chirps.
Yeah.
You've been telling me about a bit for this guy for like months now. You've been really hyping me up. You know what? I'm ready to hear it.
Well, what's really great is that you led me in. You're right. You gave me a lead in Demyx, and then you just like admitted to it. But what I want to talk about, because we have Demyx's favorite catchphrase. It's better down where it's wetter. Axel has his own catchphrase, right? He says, "Got it memorized." I think it's important to remember that, these characters aren't just one note. Axel has a lot of catchphrases, and I think we can discuss them here. We've been all paying attention to the dialogue, so we all remember them. He's like, he's always like, put it in your pipe and smoke it, because he's a fire guy, right? He's a big smoker.
Oh yeah.
I think that's like a really big one. I think he's always saying "bada boom."
What does it have to do with fire, though? Or is
Nothing.
that like the three-dimensionality you're talking
That's
about?
the three-dimensionality, because he's also Italian.
Oh, okay.
It's one of those things they don't talk about a lot in the lore, but yeah.
Well, that's like the thing. Obviously, like as we all know, Kingdom Hearts takes place in America. And because this is a Japan-designed game, there's always a bit of like outside looking you can do. You can only do so much research, you know?
Right. I mean, we all know that Destiny Islands is just off the coast of Hawaii.
So, like Nomura himself, he couldn't automatically gauge like how important the Italian ethnicity is to like Italian Americans.
Right.
Except, of course, because he's a smart guy, he put in the most important thing of having him say bada boom, which, as we all know, is typical of having Italian heritage in America.
Right. It's sort of like a, it's like a cry, like it's how other Italian Americans identify Italian Americans.
Yeah. Unfortunately, though, he failed on one part. When Axel gets hit in this game, he should hold up his hand to say, "Oh."
Agreed. I think it's unfortunate that, due to a voice clip issue, Hades actually took one of Axel's famous catchphrases, "Feel the heat."
One of my favorite ones.
That was originally supposed to be an Axel quote, but they gave him too many, and so they're like, "Oh, we have to spread these out, otherwise they're going to know that Axel's our favorite character."
It's always unfortunate when, like, something else is stolen from the Italian Americans.
That's right.
Like, they've had enough.
It's been a hard life for them.
Yeah. Like, people keep making fun of them all the time, especially nowadays. And you know what? I'm here to say it. We're pro-Italian in this group.
That's right.
We're not gonna do any of that.
Yeah. You got me. I would never be Fredophobic.
Now, Belgians, though, you're in my sights.
Well, unfortunately, in the lore, I don't know if there are any Belgian Organization 13 members.
Alright. Here's disrespect I'm gonna do to the Belgians. You ever notice how instead of calling it frites, they call for... Oh shit, actually it's the opposite way. Shit, fuck.
Abort.
Alright, we're just gonna rewind to that bit. Actually, hold on. Call in King Mickey. Maybe he can give us an adjusted bit.
King Mickey, hold up. I was gonna say the Belgians call patat frites, and it's real stupid.
That is stupid.
Alright, I got off the phone with King Mickey. He told me to kill myself.
Jeez.
Oh no! So insensitive.
No, I think it's good advice. So, unfortunately, 3 years of LP not leading to anything.
King Mickey's gonna be singing a different tune when he sees how well you do the rest of the Organization 13 refights.
Oh yeah. Like this one. I'm gonna be great at it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna... I don't know what I'm gonna do.
You're gonna win.
The Belgians took one over to me, and now, like, I'm just scared.
Right.
I'm scared of what's gonna happen in my life.
Well, if it helps you perform any better, because we're doing this live, of course, because they're spears, you can just imagine them as French fries, and you can just imagine that Zaldin calls them frites.
Hey. We don't call them French fries over here.
Sorry, you said patates?
Yeah, we have patates. And that's really about it. I guess we, have, like, the tin fries, but we also just call them patat or frites.
Okay. Oh, okay. So it's still got the little patat in there.
Yeah.
We just say the French. We don't even mention that it's a potato or being fried. Just the French.
Alright, but, like, what's the emotion you usually associate when you call them the French?
We don't have
it disgust?
emotions yet. We're gonna buy them later, but we can't afford them right now.
Oh, you get them imported. You export heavy metal bands and import emotions for all the people.
Yes.
Oh, okay, so that's, like, why you both appear on, like, the most depressed and the most happy lists in all the countries of the world.
This is true.
People just come up to you and ask, how are you feeling? And you just go nothing. And, people can take that one way or the other.
No sadness, it's good. No happiness, bad.
It evens out.
Man, that's one thing people say about our LPs. They say it a lot. We're very internationalist.
It's true. We are from many different nations, and we talk about it constantly.
Yeah. Like, you're learning something here. You won't get that in your other LP groups, which are like, we're 4 Americans, and that's it.
That's right.
We just talk about, I don't know, The Sopranos, because that's the show we love.
Yeah, they talk about freedom fries instead of patats.
Over here, you learn something new. You learn all about patats and how instead of watching The Sopranos, we just go to yodeling concerts, because that's what we do as Europeans.
That's right.
Oh shit, that's coming up next Friday, right? Yodeling contest.
Oh shit. Fuck, we gotta cancel this LP. Like, we were gonna record the finale then, but fuck that.
Right, it's like an international thing, right? Like, all the countries come to... It's like Eurovision, but for yodeling, so it's more important.
Yeah. You know, we gotta learn who's gonna be the next Yodo Koning.
Is that King of Yodeling? Is that what that translates to?
Yeah.
Okay, wow. See, I'm already learning Dutch. It's great.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's a lot more mangled German, I'd say.
Still, you know, I appreciate even I, as a commentator, get to learn something new.
Yeah.
Just growling at you.
That's your name, isn't it?
I'm guessing that's something like a lot of bosses in gaming have to deal with, which is why I'm gonna like introduce to game developers and designers this little idea. You know how in Walmart they have like the little like employee name tags? I think video game protagonists should start having those.
Like, it just says, like, on his shirt, Sora.
I mean, it's a really good idea, because, like, you don't have to do that thing anymore where you have the villain and hero, like, meet each other and, like, have them learn each other's name, because you can just skip that. The villain knows what the hero's name is now.
Yeah.
Characters in video games should all be wearing proper safety gear. They do dangerous work.
It's true.
Some goggles on you. Get a hard hat.
Go down to the work site.
Earplugs. High-vis vest.
Become a union guy. Sounds fun.
That's right. You know, maybe that's the issue with Organization 13. They never unionized. That's why this was this backstabbing. Death.
Well,
Could have been avoided.
You know, with 13 employees, you don't really have a lot of bargaining power, so to say.
Sure.
Man, is that how we're gonna end it? I guess so.
Solidarity forever.